Hi everyone, welcome to Job Fever. So today we are going to start new topic which is related to collections framework. So we are going to discuss about vector today. Okay, so we'll discuss what is vector. Okay, we are going to cover in this tutorial syntax of vector. How can we declare the vector? Okay, how can we create vector? And advantage of using vector, disadvantage of using vector, and constructors in vector, methods using vector, and difference between vector and array list. So it is a very important question according to interview. And coding questions of vector, we are going to see coding questions of vectors. Okay, so let's get started. So firstly we are going to touch what is vector. Okay, so in Java the vector class is part of the collections framework and implements the list interface. Okay, so you know the hierarchy of collections framework. Okay, so in collections framework hierarchy, if you'll see, so you'll get the list, you'll get the set, you'll get the map. Okay, so in list interface. Okay, so vector is one of the implementation of list interface. Okay, which allows it to hold a dynamic array of elements. So we can store dynamically with the help of the vector. It is similar to an array list, but there are some key differences mainly related to its synchronization and performance. So it is similar to array list. So in array list also we can store multiple objects. Okay, so in vector also we can store multiple objects. So but there is some difference between vector and array list. Okay, which is related to synchronization and performance issue. So so this is the hierarchy of vector. Okay, in collections framework. So iterable will be the interface, main interface, and then collection is also interface. So collection extends iterable, and list is also interface which extend collection. Okay, and vector implements list, and stack implements vector. Stack is a class. Stack also extends vector. Okay, so stack is also a data, uh, also a type of data structure to store objects. Okay, so we are going to concentrate on vector. Okay, so this is the hierarchy of vector in collections framework. So we are going to describe vector. Okay, so vector implements a dynamic array, which means it can grow or shrink as required, like an array. Okay, so in it implements dynamic array. Its content component that can be accessed using an integer index. So you can so it store with index. Okay, so we can store at index wise, and we can get by index, we can read by index. Okay, so it's internally follow a dynamic array, a growable array, you can say like this. They are very similar to array list, but vector is synchronized and has some legacy method that is the collection framework does not contain. Okay, so there is some legacy method inside vector, but in array list there is no any legacy method. Array list is introduced in Java 1.2. Okay, but this vector is introduced in Java 1.0. Okay, uh, at the time of starting only they introduced vector. Okay, so there is some legacy method inside vector, but there is no any legacy method inside array list. So this is also a difference. So it also maintains an insertion order like an array list. So array list also maintain insertion order, and vector also maintain insertion order. Still it is rarely used in non-thread environment as it is synchronized. So if vector is synchronized, so better not to use synchronized method inside multi-threaded environment, because you'll get the incorrect value. You may get the incorrect value if multiple thread will try to fetch that, uh, fetch your value, okay, which is vector, okay. Then in that scenario you may get the incorrect output. So better not to use vector in multi-threaded environment. So always try to use any non-synchronized data structure, okay. So it gives a poor performance in adding, searching, deleting and updating its element, because it is synchronized, okay. So performance wise it is also slow, because only one thread can access at a time. So, and the iterators return by the vector class are fail fast, okay. So if you use this vector class as a, okay, as a iterator, so it will be fail fast. In the case of concurrent modification, it fails the through the concurrent modification exception. So if you use vector also for to at the time of iterating, okay, if you try to add or modify or delete something, okay, in your vector data structure, then you will get concurrent modification exception, okay. Same like array list, in array list also you will get the concurrent modification exception. So this is the common between array list and vector. In hierarchy of collections, okay, we are going to see hierarchy of collection. So this is the main iterable interface, okay. Collection is a list, iterable is also a list. So iterable collection extend iterable, okay. And we are concentrating here on list. So list implements collection, okay. Queue also implements collection. Queue sorry, list is a interface, queue is also interface, and set is also interface, okay. So set extends collections, okay, because both are interface. So interface extends, okay, and class implements. So we are concentrating only here on vector. So array list also implements list, linked list also implements list, and vector also implements list, and stack also implements list, okay. So stack implements vector and vector implements list, okay. So like this is the scenario. So you can also see the set, okay. So hash set is there, link hash set is there, queue, dq is there, priority queue is there, okay. So here we are concentrating on vector, okay. So it is a complete hierarchy of collection. So what we are doing, you have to understand from basic, okay. So we are going to see syntax of vector. How can you declare a vector, how can you create a vector object, okay. So this is the syntax. So if you see the vector class, so you'll get, so vector extends of stack list and implements list, random access, clonable and serializable. These all are interface, serializable, clonable, okay, list, random access. So vector implements list, random access, clonable, serializable, and vector implements abstract list. So if you see the code of this vector, you will get. Let me show you code of the vector. Okay, it will not take more time. It will be easy to understand. If you see the code, okay, I have already written here. Okay, so this is the vector. If you see the code internals of vectors, okay, yeah. So here the see vector. Vector is a class. So vector extends of stack list, which is also a class, okay. And vector implements list, in list is interface, random access is interface, clonable is interface, okay. So if you see the random access, so random access is also a interface. So this is interface, okay. Clonable is interface, you know very well, and serializable list, you know also, okay. So this is the internals of vector class. So let's continue our topic. So it's extend abstract list and implements list interfaces. Just now we seen, okay. So it's implements serializable, clonable, iterable, collection, list, random access interfaces. Okay, so it implements serializable, clonable, iterable. Okay, so because if you see the list, okay, so list implements collection, okay, and collection implements iterable. Okay, so indirectly vector implements serializable, clonable, iterable, collection, list, okay, and random access interfaces. So this is the basic things of vector. So you need to understand everything from code to advanced. The directly known subclass is stack. Okay, so stack is a subclass of vector. Okay, because stack extend vector. Okay, so this is the known subclass of vector. Now we are going to see advantage of using vector. Okay, so synchronization, as mentioned before, vector is a synchronized, making it safe to use in a multi-threaded environment. Okay, so if you want to use inside multi-threaded environment, then you can use vector. We have an option. So this is also advantage of vector. If you see in advantage wise, okay, and dynamic size, the size of vector can grow or shrink dynamically as elements are added or removed. So we can also increase the size dynamically. Okay, because in array we can't increase the size dynamically. We have to provide the size of array at the time of declaration only. But in case of vector, okay, it will grow dynamically. It will be, your size will be added dynamically. You can add and remove. So you don't have to worry about setting an initial size. That will accommodate all elements. Okay, so no need to provide the size at the time of declaring the vector. Okay, so without size also vector object will be created, and once it will be fulfilled, okay, then by its threshold, then it will be, size will be increased. So dynamic size, this is also advantage. And legacy support, so vector has been part of Java since its inception and is still supported. So it's a good option if you need to work with older Java code that uses vector. Okay, so this is a legacy. It support legacy. So if you want to still, uh, if you still want to use the legacy things, okay, in legacy project, then it will be good to use. Okay, if you'll see in advantage why, but nowadays no one is using vector. Okay, so this is a disadvantage of using vector. So performance wise, the synchronization in vector can lead the slower performance compared to other collection like such as array list. So this is the slower than array list. Performance wise, it will be very slow because this is synchronized. Legacy wise, so this is the legacy. So nowadays no one is using. Okay, so this is also issue, and unnecessary overhead. Okay, so if you don't need to synchronization features of vector using it, it will add unnecessary overhead to your code. Okay, so this is also issue. So we are going to see now constructors in vector. So in how many ways we can create vector. So this is the first way: create a default vector of the initial capacity is 10. So if initial capacity will be 10 for vector, so this is applicable for array list also. If you're creating array list, so initial capacity will be 10, same as vector. Okay, so like this we can create the vector instance. Okay, and this will be the type E. Here we can provide like a string, integer, double. Okay, according to your requirement you can provide. So yeah, if you are using, so vector size will be 10. Okay, and it will be increased if the threshold will be fulfilled. And second will be like this, we can create the vector with size. Create a vector whose initial capacity is specified by size. So if you provide there 10, 20, 30, 40 like this. Okay, so that size will be considered at the time of creation of vector. Okay, so if you are making 20, then uh, 20 one vector will be created with size 20, capacity 20. So this is the size and INCR. Okay, create a vector whose initial capacity is specified by size. We are giving the size here also, and increment is specified by INCR. So how it will be in, increase? Okay, how size will be increased? Like this, we can provide size plus how you want to increase the size of vector like this. So it specifies the number of elements to record each time a vector is resized upward. So like this we can also create with size and incr. And fourth way we can also create a vector that contains the elements of vector collections we can provide here. Okay, like you can provide array list also, and any collection also you can provide at the time of creating vector. So we have four ways to create the vector. Okay, basically most of the time we use this. Okay, first one. So you can choose anyone according to your need, and we are going to see quickly all the method which we use in vector. Okay, so we have add method to add. Okay, append the specified element to the end of this vector. Okay, so it will add the element. Okay, and add by the index, add all we can also do. Okay, so here we can provide the collection, add all with index and collections. Okay, where we want to add element is also there. This is the legacy method, add element. Okay, capacity is there, so it will return the capacity of your vector. Clear, it will remove all the available object. Clone, so it will provide the clone. Contains, if something is contains, okay, object contains, it will return true and false. Contains all. Okay, copy into, so copy the component of this vector into a specified array. Elements at, okay, so returns the element, it will return the element. So elements returns an enumeration of the component of this vector. Okay, ensure capacity, mean capacity, so it will provide this will be the mean capacity. Okay, increase the capacity of this vector if necessary to ensure that it can hold at least the number of components specified a minimum capacity argument. So these are the methods. Okay, so we are going to quickly cover. So, and we'll do the coding also. Okay, to understand the equals method there, equals to compare the objects. Okay, so it is a very famous method. First element, so you'll get the first element. For is to iterate. Okay, to iterate your vector you can use for each. Okay, so for each is available in collections, collection interface. So sorry, collection interface, yes, yes. So because vector implements collection, so we are getting here also for each get method. So we can fetch the get by index hash code, to generate the hash code. Index of, okay, so it will return index of your object. Okay, if it is not available then it will return -1. Okay, so index of object in int index. Okay, so return the index of the first occurrence of the specified element in this vector, searching forward from the index, or returns -1 if the element is not found. So like this insert, you can insert also on which index we want to insert. So you can use this is empty, so you will get the, with the help of this you will get the true and false. So iterator, with the help of iterator method we can also iterate. Last element you will get, last index by the object you will get, last index of object and index. So we have to provide the object and index of that one, so you'll get the last index of, so returns the index of the last occurrence of the specified elements in this vector, searching backward from the index, or returns -1 if the, sorry, if the element is not found. So this is the, these are the methods. Okay, remove, to remove the index wise, remove by object wise, remove all, to remove all things, all the collections, remove all elements. So remove all component from this vector and set its set size to 0. So remove elements, so here also, so it's a legacy method. Okay, so it will remove by object, so remove element at, so index wise it will also, it will remove if. Okay, so you can provide the predicate. Okay, you can provide your own logic. Remove range from index to index. Okay, from where to where, from where to where you want to remove, you can provide the range. Replace all, it will replace. Retain, okay, retain only the elements in the vector contained in the specified collections. Set, we can also set element and index where you want to set the element. Set element at, set size, new size you can set, size you can get. Okay, sort, you can sort, like we have a, like in increasing and descending order you can sort like this. So here we are providing the comparator. Splitter also, okay, for it fail fast splitter over the element in this list. Sublist, okay, returns a view of the portion of the list between from index inclusive and to index inclusive. Okay, so from and to you have to provide, then you will get the sub vector. Okay, vector inside the vector you will get. To array, it will convert into array, returns array containing all the elements. To array, okay. To string is also there, which is very famous, as you know already. Trim to size, okay, so trims the capacity of this vector to the vector current size. Okay, and list iterator is also there, returns list iterator over the elements in this list. Okay, so if you want to iterate, okay, for the list, you can use. So these all are the methods inside the vectors. So you can use, you can play with all the methods. Okay, so I discussed quickly, so within 3 to 4 minutes, okay, to understand each and every things. No need to understand each and everything. So if you do the coding, then you can play with these all methods you will get. So we'll cover all this and all necessary methods in our coding section. Okay, because we have so many methods here, almost 40 to 50 methods. So we are going to see difference between vector and array list. So this is the most important questions, okay, according to interview. So vector and array list, so feature synchronization. Okay, so synchronize, vector is synchronized. Okay, so if synchronized, that means it is thread safe, and non-synchronized, array list is non-synchronized, that means non-thread safe. You can't use this vector, okay, in multi-threaded environment, because you see it is, sorry, you can't use array list in multi-threaded environment because it is non-synchronized. So better not to use array list inside multi-threaded environment because it is non-synchronized. And vector, which is synchronized, that means it is thread safe, so we can use it inside multi-threaded environment. All methods are synchronized, making it safe for multi-threaded performance. So vector is slower than array list. Okay, and growth policy, so double its size when it need to grow. So it will make the size double when your threshold will be completed. Okay, and analyst increase its size by 50% when it need to grow. So size will be enhanced by 50% in case of analyst. So legacy status, so vector is legacy and analyst is introduced in Java 1.2. So thread safety, so vector is thread safe. So vector is thread safe and analyst is not thread safe. So iterator, so it is fail fast in case of vector, but it is also fail fast. Okay, so both are similar. So it also throws the concurrent modification exception in case of array list, and in case of vector also, it's also throw concurrent modification exception. So both are similar functionalities and uses used in modern code. So really used in modern code because this is legacy code. So nowadays no one is using vector, and most of the persons are using this array list. Initial capacity, so initial capacity will be 10 for this vector, and for array list also initial capacity will be 10. So this is similar. Okay, so capacity increase, so can specify a capacity increase capacity by this amount when full. Okay, and capacity, if vector will be full, then it will be doubled. Okay, just now we seen the, it will make the size double its size when it needs to grow. So when, so default initial size is 10 elements, can be specified at instantiation. Okay, but can specify a capacity increment. Okay, increase capacity by this amount when full. So once it will be full, so the capacity will be doubled in case of vector. Okay, but in case of list, the size will be increased by 50% of the current size. Okay, when it will be full, so it will be 50%, it will be increased by 50%, but it will be double. So legacy method, so legacy method is available, just now we discussed. Okay, add element is a legacy method. Okay, inside vector, and remove element is also a legacy method inside vector. Okay, but there is no legacy method inside this, inside array list. Okay, in use cases, so use when thread safety is priority and performance is less critical. So that means we can use in thread environment. Okay, and use in single threaded or non-concurrent application for the better performance. So we can use array list inside non-threaded environment. Okay, So if you don't want to perform any concurrent operation, okay, then you can use this array list. Namespace part of Java tutorial package, and both are the part of Java tutorial package. So this is a similar functionality. So there is some difference between vector and array list we discussed, and some similarity is also there. So we have also touched. Okay. So this according to the feature. So now we are going to do coding part to understand clearly. So how it works. Okay, code wise. So let's start coding. So I have already did one POC. So I will show you quickly. Okay, so how it works internally. So this is how we can create the vector. So this is the one of the constructor to option to create the vector. So we are creating vector with no constructor, no argument we are passing. Okay, so one vector will be created with size will be here 10. Default size will be 10. So we are going to add some elements. So how? So we have apple, banana, cherry. We are adding vector dot add is a method. Okay, so here we'll get uh, vector, and we'll get the apple, banana, cherry date. Okay, if you want to add, so you will get here after adding, you will get one list. Inside list you will get apple, banana, cherry, date. Okay, so if you want to add with index, so here we can provide index, and here we can there is a grapes is a string. So we have also provided which type of the data you want to store inside vector. So we have provided a string here, so we are adding all the strings object inside vector. Okay, so here we can add a grapes at second position. So let's run and check one by one are we getting the. So I'm going to comment the unnecessary things. Okay, so we'll enable once required. Okay, so it will be easy to understand. So let me comment the. So we will see one by one. I've d one POC to save your time. So let's run one by one and check. So now we are adding only. Okay, so we'll add and we'll check. So if everything, if it will be, so if it will work fine, then we'll disable all comment and we'll check. So now we have commented everything. Okay, now we are going to see only addition part. Are we able to add in vector or not? Okay, so let me run and check. So see here we are getting apple, banana, cherry and date. Apple, banana, cherry and date. Okay, so we are getting correct output. So we have created one vector with the help of no argument constructor. Okay, and we have added, and we are getting apple, banana, cherry, date inside a list. Okay, so now we are going to add at index wise. Okay, so we provide the index where you want to add. Okay, so we want to store at second place, that means the 0 1 2 3. So instead of cherry it should be grapes. Okay, and cherry should be at next position. Okay, so our output will be like apple, banana, grapes, cherry and date. So let me run and check is it working fine or not. So let me run quickly. Yeah, we are getting apple, banana, grapes we are getting here, but that means it's adding at second index. Okay, and then cherry and then date. So like this we can add vector that add with index. And we have third scenario, which is accessing an element at a specific index. So now we are fetching the object which is at first position. Okay, with the help of the get, we are providing here index. So now we'll get here what should our output should our at first person banana is there, so our output should banana. Let's run and check are we getting banana or not. So we are getting banana, so it's working fine. So functionality will be same as array list. Okay, so now we are going to remove banana. So we are going to remove, so we have removed method with object with index. Okay, with uh, collections. Okay, we remove all, we can remove if, remove element. Okay, these all are methods. So we are going to use here remove with object. Okay, so here object is our banana. So now banana should be removed from this index, and apple, grapes, cherry, and date should be our output. So let me run and check, are we getting correct output or not. Apple, grapes, and cherry, and date. Okay, so banana is removed from our list, so we are not getting banana. So this is the correct output we are getting here. So now fifth will be the removing an element by index. So we are going to remove element by index, from which, from where you want to delete or remove the element. Okay, so from second position, second index you want to remove. Okay, so we are providing a remove and second index, that means 0 1 2. So cherry will be deleted, so our output should be apple, grapes, and date. So let me run and check, are we getting correct output or not. So yeah, we are getting apple, grapes, and date. Okay, so now cherry is not available because we have removed this cherry with the help of this remove method, and we are providing remove with index. So checking if the vector contains an element. So we have contains method, so it will return true and false. Okay, if so we have vector, okay, which is apple, grapes, and date. Okay, so it will check apple is available on this in this vector or not. If it is available, it will return true. If it is not available, then it will return false. So let me run and check, it should return true because apple is available. So it's returning true because apple is available inside this list. Okay, inside this. So now we are going to see getting the size of the vector. So what is the size of vector? So with the help of the size, we can uh, calculate the size of the vector. So current size will be 3 because we have apple, grapes, and date. So let me run and check, are we getting 3 or not. So now we are getting here 3. That means the our output is correct. So size is also working perfect, and this is the way to get the size of vector. Okay, same like array list, and this is the way by which we can iterate. So we are using the enhance for loop. We can also use the for each method, we can also use the iterator. So we have 3 to 4 ways to iterate. So we are using here uh, for enhance for loop to iterate. So here vector, and we are using here string. One by one it will iterate and it will provide the. So let me run and check, are we able to iterate with the help of this or not. Yeah, so we are able to iterate with the help of this enhance for loop. Okay, apple, grapes, date we are getting. So like this we can iterate and checking vector is empty or not. Okay, so how can we check vector is empty? Okay, so it will return true and false. So what should be output? So vector is not empty, so it should be false. So yeah, we are getting false. Okay, so we are getting the correct. At last we are going to creating all the elements from the vector. So we are going to delete all the elements which is available inside vector, and it should give a empty list, empty. Okay, so let's run and check. Yeah, we are getting the empty list. Okay, so this is the way by which we can add, remove. Okay, we can check the size, we can iterate. Okay, we can add by index, we can add by object. Okay, we can fetch with the get method, we can remove by object, we can remove by index. Okay, so almost 40 to 50 methods are there. So these are the necessary method which we frequently use in our code. Okay, but if you want to play with the methods, okay, which is available inside vector, you can go and we can check and you can play. If there is any doubt, all you can also comment, so we can discuss on open platform. I hope you understood all the point which I discussed in this video. Okay, so hope you are loving my video. If you are loving my effort, please like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for watching. Bye everyone.